Hi dear music friends, welcome back again. Today I'm going to discuss a method for question 3 of grade 8 music theory exam, writing a 12 bars melody with simple time rhythm. This type of rhythm has specific texture and rhythmic pattern to follow, and there are important pointers to be shared so that you will phrase your melody with correct grouping of notes. You'll be amazed how this method can help you complete your melody within 20 minutes during a theory exam and score very well. For those who visited my channel for first time, my name is Jenny, and in the past 15 years, plenty of students have completed grades 1 to 8 within 1 to 2 years under my music theory crash course, and one of my students, Oliver Lim, has even won award for songwriting competition. Subscribe to his channel for his latest songs album. What you see now in my channel is just a drop in the ocean of music theory. I have the passion to share and can't wait to share all secrets to the world for free. The best encouragement from you guys is to subscribe to my channel and turn on the notification button because that will be the greatest encouragement for me. The most frequently tested topics are only available for limited time, and only subscribers will get the latest update on these important videos. For those who already subscribed, I want to say a very big thank you because it means a lot to me, and this makes me to constantly improve my teaching online and offer lessons of best quality. You can share my video with your friends so that more people will subscribe. Now let's start the lessons, and be sure to follow the steps for solutions. Thank you for watching. Thank you very much. Hi, welcome back to this lesson about melody writing for simple time rhythm. These are the examples that you can use for simple time rhythm. These are the combinations. Okay, first one, this is one crotchet. Usually we use the long notes at the end. Okay, the ending we usually end with one crotchet. In the middle, you can use a combination of two quavers. Okay, this is one crotchet. Dotted quiver followed by a semi-quiver. This also make one crotchet. So these are the different combinations that can make one crotchet. So you can use them. This is the form that we use, ternary form for melody writing, because after trying all kind of musical form for melody writing for many years, we realized that ternary form helps students score very well for the grade 8 melody writing question. So we highly recommend that you use ternary form for your music. Okay. There are three sections. Ternary form start with section A that has a given opening of 2 bars, usually have 2 bars, and then it will be in tonic key. And we need to use imitation as one of the writing technique for this music. Okay, so next one, the section B will be your climax of the music. So after introducing the main theme in section A, when you come to section B, you need to use modulation, because this is a climax already, and you need to modulate to a new key. And over here, you also introduce new melodic and rhythmic idea. Okay, over here, you develop your own melody and your new rhythmic patterns. We tend to write more notes and more combination of rhythmic pattern in section B. At the end, ending, the opening main themes will come back, and then you must remember to end your melody with 7 to 1, okay, and end with a tonic. And I forgot to mention just now, in your climax, this section, you also need to show a technique of writing a sequence. Okay, this is one of the composition technique that you can use. I will explain this in detail later on. So let's look at the music over here. Okay, so this is like how we plan our ternary form just now. The first line is your section A. Okay, so the given opening is 2 bars. The first 2 bars are already given, and this B is your climax, middle section, and the last line will be your section A1, where your given melody is back here. Okay, so these 2 bars are already copied for you. So bar 1 and 2, I copy already. So in bar 9 and 10, which is section A1, your melody come back here. So I also copy. So these are things that you can do when you start doing your question 3. They copy the opening melody, and then the last line, your opening melody come back again in bar 9 and 10. So over here, like what we planned just now, you need to have an imitation. So these 2 bars will be your imitation, and this is a key of D major. How do we know this is a D major? When the 2 sharps are given, you can only have 2 possibilities. One is either D major or B minor. So in this case, I choose to have a D major because, first of all, this has two sharps. And this is a D, the opening bar have D, A. It starts with A and end with D. So apparently this is from the chord of D, F, A. And the B and C are just passing note. So the main note is D, F, A. So since it starts with a D major chord, apparently this is a D major. And it cannot be B minor because the 7th note, which is A, has no sharp. Okay, they didn't raise the A sharp. They didn't raise the A to an A sharp. So this cannot be a B minor. So over here, opening line already, opening 2 bars are given. So at the end of this opening 2 bars, or at the end of this first line, we will end the phrase with imperfect cadence, which is chord 4 to 5. Okay, so in D major, chord 4 is G, B, D. Chord 5 is A, C, E. Okay, so this form imperfect cadence. Now let's write the melody. So this melody starts with F. So after F, you can continue to choose the nearest note. The nearest note is a G. Okay, try to choose the nearest note. And since this is an imitation, imitation means we need to imitate the rhythm. So bar 3 should imitate the rhythm from bar 1. So in bar 1, if you have 4 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, your bar 3 also should have 4 notes also. So after G, if I choose to repeat the G, okay, you have 2 options. You can choose to repeat the G or you skip to another note. So over here, I choose to repeat the G. So if you repeat the G, you need to add an auxiliary note in between. So over here, I choose A to be an auxiliary note. So G, A, G. Once you have same amount of notes like bar 1, okay, 4 notes here, you can copy the rhythm, imitate the rhythm. But please take note, the melody, the notes will be your own choice. It has to be your own notes, okay? So that is the definition of imitation. Next bar is A, C, E. So after G, in bar 3, you end with the note G. So in bar 4, you can choose the nearest note, which is A. Sorry, A. So bar 4, this bar 4 must imitate the rhythm of bar 2. Bar 2 also have 4 notes, 1, 2, 3, 4. So over here, just now I repeat G and G, and I add A as auxiliary note. So over here, I want to skip. Just now I repeat, so now I want to skip. So if you choose to skip, you can choose to skip from A to E. So between A and E, you can add passing note, which is G and F. Okay, once you have 4 notes like bar 2, then you can copy the rhythm. Okay, so this is how you compose a melody in bar 3 and 4. You can copy the phrases. Now the middle line, you need a modulation. So originally you have a D major. D major has 2 sharps, which is F sharp and C sharp. If you want to modulate, you can modulate to the key that has 1 sharp more. Okay, so it can be F sharp, C sharp, G sharp, which is the A major. So this is the nearest key that you can modulate to. You can also decrease 1 sharp, deduct 1 sharp. So you go to only F sharp, which is a G major. Okay, let's say if you want to choose a G major, the chord progression that you can choose here is chord 1, 2, and then 5 to 6, which means you will end this melody with interrupted cadence. So this is interrupted cadence. Okay, so the middle line you will end with interrupted cadence. So chord 1 in G major will be G, B, D. Chord 2 is A, C, E. Chord 5 is D, F, A. Chord 6 is E, G, B. Okay, so please take note, in this section B, you cannot change the key signature. The key signature still must remain as 2 sharps. So later on, after you finish writing your melody, you can add in the accidentals. Okay, we do a modulation by adding in accidentals, but the key signature 2 sharps still must remain the same because the tonic key is still in D major, so you cannot change the key signatures. So over here, you will need to develop your own melodic idea, and rhythmic pattern has to be a new one. So you can add in more notes over here. So you can start with D and D, repeat first. If you repeat first, next you can skip. I want to skip to B. Okay, so all the notes that you choose must come from this chord. Okay, after I choose the B, I repeat, because just now I skip. So now I repeat. After I repeat the B, I can skip to G. Okay, try not to skip, go back to D, because D is already here. Here you already have the D. So I encourage you to change your melodic direction by going to B, by going to G, sorry. Go to a lower register. So after G, I repeat the G. So after repeat the G, you can skip to D. Okay, so this is the planning of melodic shape. After you write down the main note, you can add in decoration in between. So between D and D, I can add E as auxiliary note. Between D and B, I can add C as the passing note. And then after that, B and B repeat, I can add auxiliary note. And then when you skip B to G, you can add A as auxiliary, A as passing note, and so on. So G, F, G. So between G and D, you can add passing note. So once you're adding in all the melodic decoration, then you can start to add in the rhythm. So the rhythm, I want to have 4 semiquavers for first group. In the middle group, I can have another 4. If you choose to have 4, then it will be 4 semiquaver, because this is the climax. So you can add a lot more notes. So you only need 3 crotchets. Apparently, you have too many notes. So over here, you can actually remove some of the notes. You find if you don't want to have so many notes. So after that, you can just remove the rest of this. I decided to remove the last 3 notes. So the last group, you left with 3 notes. So if you have only 3 notes per group, you can have a combination of 2 semiquaver plus 1 quiver. Okay. So please take note, you need to start with the chord note and end your melody of this bar with another chord note, so that you can see this is a GBD, the harmony of GBD. Okay, so let's move on to the next bar. Next bar we have a ACE. Okay, let's start with A, because over here is a G here, so the nearest note here can be A. ACE, so I start with A, repeat the A, and then I skip to E. After skip to E, I repeat the E, and then I end with C. So I think this is enough. Now you can add in the decoration. So between A and A, you can add auxiliary note, like what we did just now. When you skip, you can add in the passing note. Okay, after that, you repeat, you can add the auxiliary note. You skip E to C, you can add passing note. Sorry, between the E and E is the auxiliary note. This D is the auxiliary note. And between E and C, this will be a D, is a passing note. So after that, you can add, once you finish writing the notes, you can add the rhythm. So I start with 4 semiquavers and another 4 semiquavers. Okay, and then the last group, you must remember to end with a longer note value. Okay, because this is a end of the 2-bar phrase. So try to end with quiver or crotchets. Try not to end with a semiquaver, because semiquaver doesn't give you a good sense of ending. Okay, when you want to end the phrase, try to slow down your rhythm. Okay, so that's all for 5 to 6. Now let's move on. The next 2 bars, we need to show a sequence in the next 2 bars. So over here, you need to follow the melodic shape and rhythmic patterns of bar 5 to 6. Okay, that's the meaning of having a sequence here. Okay, so in bar 5, you start your melody with B, which is the 5th note of the chord. So over here, if you want to do a sequence, you need to start with the letter name or the notes that have the same position of the chord. Okay, so the 5th note of chord 5 is A. So you can start with A, higher A. I decided to start with this higher A. So please take note, it is okay to have a big jump. Okay, after when this phrase ends, bar 5 to 6 end with C. When you start a new phrase, it's totally okay to start with another note that is far away from this C. Okay, so after A, I follow the rhythmic pattern and a melody. So here is D and D. So here I also follow them, A and A. So D, E, D. So I follow to add A, B, A. So after that, D skip to B. So over here, I skip from A to F. So between these two notes, I add a passing note, and the rest just repeat the same progress. And it's the same for next bar. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then B, C, D. Okay, so we must repeat the melodic shape and the rhythmic pattern. So you can see in bar 5, this is a melodic shape going down. And over here, also the same, your sequence must have the same melodic shape and rhythmic pattern. So in bar 8, I also use the same method like what I did in bar 7. I start with the same position of the note in that chord. So over here, I start with A, which is a root note. Here, I also start with the root note, which is the E. Okay, so if you follow the melodic shape from up to down, here up to down, same steps and same rhythmic pattern, you should end with the same notes in the same position of the chord. So over here, I end with C, which is the middle note of the chord. Okay, so in bar 8, you should also end with G, right, which is the middle note of the chord. Okay, so last line, don't forget you need to end your melody with chord 5 to 1, and the D major should come back here in the third line. Okay, and the last line, when D major come back, you need to end with 5 1 as the perfect cadence, and this chord 5 will be a A C E, chord 1 is D F A. Okay, so this melody stop at F. So after F, I choose E. Okay, after E, I will go to C. I skip to C. After C, I repeat the C. I think after C, maybe I will go back to E again. Okay, so you start with a quiver. So you start with quiver, you can use a syncopated rhythm, quiver, crotchet, quiver. Okay, so between C and E, I add a passing note. So between C and E, I can use C, D, E, combination of 2 semiquiver with 1 quiver. Okay, so last bar, you need to lead your melody going to leading note and tonic. So over here, after E, I want to go to F. So from F, don't forget, you need to lead it to 7 note. The leading note of D major is a C. Okay, so C is the leading note. And then the tonic note is D. Going back to tonic note is like going home. So between F and C, you can add passing note. Okay, so F and D belong to the chord note. Okay, 7 to 1 is leading to tonic to give you a good sense of ending. So 7 and first note at the end is very important. These two notes are fixed to be there to give a good sense of ending at the end of the melody. So F and D, you can slow down your rhythm by using quarter, okay, semi quiver, and then quiver. Slow down the rhythm. So this is how we do the melody writing. And in section B, don't forget to add in the accidentals, which is a C natural. So in bar 5, you have a C natural. Maybe a C natural here. Okay. Okay, so C natural. So this C don't need a natural anymore because already have a C natural here. And bar 6, another C natural. Bar 7, also C natural here. Bar 8, another C natural here. Okay, so that's all for the notes and rhythm. Now let's look at the performance direction. For performance direction, you notice there are a lot of hairpin, crescendo, decrescendo, and then crescendo for the first half of music. So for second half of music, try not to add any more crescendo and decrescendo. Let it stay simple. Okay, so since this is a crescendo, you can go to the F here, and then last line. If the first line start with MF, last line you can start with an MP, and you can do opposite dynamics over here. So from MP, you can, if you want to make it simple, you can just do a simple crescendo to F. So if the first half of that line already have a hairpin, Second half, usually you want it to stay same throughout. We don't want to add any more crescendo and decrescendo because it's very hard for the player to play if your phrases keep going crescendo, decrescendo, crescendo, decrescendo constantly like this. It will be quite hard to play it. So middle line, since there is a sequence, we always want to start loud because this is the climax of the music. And the next two bars, bar 7 to 8, is an echo of the previous two bars. So over here I put P because this is the echo. Sequence is an echo, okay, of the previous phrase. So over here I put P as an echo of bar 5 to 6. For phrases, first line you can bar 3 and 4 you can follow the shape of bar 1, bar 4 can follow bar 2, and then bar 5 to 6 you can just put a big phrase of 2 bars, another 2 bars. Okay, last line you can have 1 bar, 1 phrase. Okay, this one is totally up to you, your own preference of what you want to add for the phrases. Okay, so you can add according to your musicalities or how you want to interpret your melody. Thank you for watching this video. Hope you can subscribe to our channel so that next time when I have topics that focus on most frequently tested questions in grade 8 music theory or grade 5 music theory, only subscriber will get the link and get notified. So that if you don't want to miss out our important videos or bonus video, please subscribe to our channel. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.